Good afternoon. This is the next video in this Hohner Carmen restoration. So I finished all the reeds. So the treble side reeds are now done. So that's the two treble side reed banks. So they're all looking like they're going to be absolutely fine. So I'm looking forward to hearing what it sounds like when those are in. I've done the bass side as well. Now with the bass side it's a little bit weird because this bigger set of two sets of reeds are actually part of the bass side, so you can't take out that reed block that's screwed and glued in, so you have to take the reeds out with this in situ and then clean them and valve them, but then wax them back in with that in place. I have done videos on that before. And then this one just came out normally, but I have had to glue in the little block which had the clamp on it, so I just glued that in. I'm going to leave that now for a good few hours. I just glued that with glue and clamped it together, so I'm going to leave that to dry. So it's all looking quite nice in that respect. Now I'm going to tackle another job which is not a quick job, but it's a really important one, and that's the bellows. Now the bellows, particularly the back end, which is probably because it's kind of rubbing on your chest when you're playing, has got quite a lot of wear to the bellows tape. It's kind of worn through the bellows tape, and that's just kind of through friction really. So it's looking quite bad. So what I'm going to do with the back is take off the existing bellows tape and put some new bellows tape on. So I'll show you how I do that. Now the sides look to be pretty good, so they haven't got any problems really, but what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put little tiny squares of bellows tape all the way down on each side just to protect the bellows corners, and I'll do the same thing on that side there. And then the front just looks absolutely fine, so I'm going to leave that be because that looks all good. So the first thing I'm going to do is get the old bellows tape off. Now this is actually could be tricky or not tricky, and in this case it's not tricky because the glue holding it on has just deteriorated and just dried, and it's actually quite easy to get this off. I'll just show you. If I just choose this one here, and actually, whoo, look at that, just comes off with very little effort. It's not destroying the cardboard. Look, that one is just almost falling off. So I'm going to take all of this off. Whee. And so I'll just do that and I'll show you when they're all off. Okay, so that's all nicely removed. I've just taken a bit of 240 grit sandpaper and just smoothed off some of the roughness on that cardboard just to get it nice. And next thing I've done is measure carefully how long the bellows tape needs to be to match the stuff that's on there. Actually I'm making it a shade longer, so it's definitely going to cover the bellows corners nicely. So I'm going to do 34 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is use my long steel ruler and just very carefully with the bellows tape, so I've just got this black bellows tape here, is just offer it up to the ruler and just hold it tight. And then when I get to 34, so just make sure that I've got a nice tight connection with the ruler, and I'm going to draw a little pencil line exactly on 34, and then I can just cut nice and square. I have to get it square because otherwise it will look rubbish. And now I've got a 34mm piece of bellows tape, so I'm going to make sure I get all the bits 34mm. Now the next thing, so I've got two bits cut now, but I'll cut a few more in a bit, is to get my glue. So I'm going to use my old favourite, which is the Eileen's doobie-doo glue. And the other thing needed lots of clamps, so I've got my clamps ready. And what I'm going to do one fold at a time because I need to use a lot of clamps to hold it in place. So this takes a little while to do because it's a bit fiddly and you need all your clamps. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give the bellows, no, I'm not going to do that. I normally fold it, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. So now I'm going to put some glue on the pot, and I'm just going to apply the glue with my finger because that's the easiest way of getting it on. So this is just Eileen's tacky glue. So you have to make sure you get a good even coverage so that the whole of the bellows tape is going to be stuck. Right, again, a finger is the best I found, and because it's not really a nasty glue, it just washes off quite nice, so it doesn't really cause a problem. Particularly, get right to the end. Here we are, and I'm just going to leave that just for a sec, for that just to dry a little bit. Just make sure it goes right to the edge. And then what I'm going to do is clip it, make sure I get it right centered on the bellows. Just try and show that as well as I can. That'll be quite good. Right, so let's start with the first one. So it's a bit tricky. You have to hold the bellows open whilst popping the bellows tape on. And I'm just going to centre that up, fold it over, hold that down. Just spend a little bit of time just to get that exactly where I want it. So it is a little bit of a fiddle, but it's worth it in the end. That's it, happy with that. And now I can just start clamping. Start at the end, make sure you're really clamped on the corner. Clamp at the other corner as well. And then I'm just going to go along. Yeah, right, so that's one on. Now I'm going to leave that before I tackle the next one, so I'm going to leave that for like 10 minutes or so, and then I'll take the clamps off and do the next one. So again, it's quite a long process, but it's worth doing it carefully so you don't end up with the dog's dinner. Right, so I'm going to leave that for a bit, and I'll show you when that's dry, and I'll put one more on and show you how to put them on, and then I'm just going to carry on putting all the bellows tape on, so just come back in a second when that's dry. Okay, so the first one is now nicely on, so I'm just going to get the second one and I'll put that one on. So again, make sure I've got my clamps all to hand, exactly the same thing, using finger just to so then just apply the glue. glue. There we are. So I'll just leave that to dry just for a tick. Wipe my hands off a little bit and then I'll put the second one on. Hopefully I can get it lined up and nice and neat. And then I'll just cut some more bellows tape and as I'm going along and just keep going with the same process until I finished the rest of these. So yeah, it's just quite a long job this, but some which is quite nice because it's kind of quite kind of relaxing in some ways. All you do is just kind of sticking on bellows tape. Right, okay, let's pop the second one on. So just start with the corner, and then go to the other end and do the other corner. Make sure it's lined up. There we are, second one on, so I'll leave that for about 15 minutes and show you that, and then I'm just going to crack on and carry on with the process. Just clean up the glue a little bit and come back in a sec. Okay, so now I've got the first two in place, so I'm just going to crack on and I'll show you when I've got this whole line all bellowed, taped up. Okay, back in a sec. Well, no, about an hour or so. Oh, hello. Okay, so I've done the back. So that's come out nice. So it's all like neatened up now. So all new bellows tape, all as straight as I can get it. And it just means that looks so much better. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some little tiny patches on all of the corners on the sides. So what I've done, I've cut some little thin patches of the same bellows tape, and I'm just going to every corner, I'm just going to put a little patch on it just to hold it nice and secure. So same glue, a little bit of same glue on there and a clamp, hold it in place. So I'll just do one and show you what it looks like. Just a little bit of glue on it, and yeah, I'm really pleased because the bellows now do look already a lot better and much more professional, much more cared for, and also there's no danger of the bellows corners falling off. So let's start on this side, I think. So I just choose one. There we are. So I've just got my first clamp on, and I'll show you what that looks like when that's dry. Okay, it's a bit tricky to see actually, but I've got the first two little patches holding the corners on, so I'm just going to work my way down in pairs really until I've done all of those. So I'll show you when it's all been done. Okie dokie, so I've now finished my bellows refurbishment. I'm quite happy, it's all looking much nicer. I'll do a few photographs of it as well so you can just see how it's gone, but I think it's certainly been worthwhile. And one thing I might do a bit later is just get some silver polish, silvo, and just metal polish and just shine up the bellows corners a little, but I'm going to leave everything just for now. Just let all that glue on the bellows folds fully dry before I do anything else. But yeah, I'm really happy. I think these bellows look really good. So that's taping bellows and also doing some bellows corner patching, so I hope that was useful, and on we go. So got plenty more to do on this accordion. I think another thing I've got to do is sort out the keys. So there's a key here which is really quite wonky, so I might have to take the plastic key top off and flatten it and sort that out. These are all a bit uneven, but I'll sort that out after doing new pallets. So there's plenty more to do, but definitely well on the way. So thanks for watching, and yeah, hope you enjoyed watching me retape the bellows. Alright, thank you.